There's something uniquely special, irreplaceable, and melancholy about lost virtual worlds. From trendy 2000s fashion sims to overt product placements weaseled into shitty flash games, I'm willing to bet we've all had an experience with some sort of MMO. Now, I've talked about the familiar, nostalgic sights of the older internet to death on this channel, but what about the faint memories of late nights you can't quite place? What about the worlds we've left to rot in the back end of Wikipedia? Today, we will be diving into the Lost Virtual Worlds Iceberg. Though I loved every old Flash game I played as a child, this particular Iceberg won't be featuring more well-known sites like Moshi Monsters, Neopets, or Webkins. For this Iceberg, I tried to pick sites that weren't well documented, were very short-lived, or just fell into the hands of time. This one's for the weird little fuckers who need to dig into the depths of the internet's online game sphere, so basically just me. Without further ado, let's begin at the tip. Build-A-Bearville. Build-A-Bearville, launched in 2007, was a virtual world created by Build-A-Bear Workshop. After the site's release, plushies purchased from the store would come with a custom ID that allowed you to bring your friend to life in the game's town of Bearville. Through quests and minigames, you could earn bear bills to shop for clothing and accessories. There was also this bad bitch who I think I had a crush on as a kid. Either way, the soft, sweet style of Build-A-Bearville is memorable for many. The site shut down in 2015 with a rewritten version currently being worked on. The Sims Online. The Sims Online, an MMO developed by Maxis, was pretty much exactly what you'd think, a Sims game with a virtual world twist. Players, after purchasing a subscription, could build a life for their Sims and interact with other players. Jobs, property customization, and social interactions were the main selling point. Most gameplay was remarkably similar to the mainline games, barring the social aspect. The Sims Online debuted to mixed reviews. Some players loved the ability to connect with other Simmers online, while others reported that the game lacked depth and balance, as the money-making system was said to be tedious and time-consuming. There was also a massive cybersex epidemic, meaning people would publicly simulate fucking, because of course they would. With all of that said, The Sims Online was a commercial failure. It underperformed massively, garnering less than 150,000 paying subscribers at its peak. It was officially taken offline in 2008 after a 6-year run. LEGO Universe. LEGO Universe was an MMORPG set in the, LEGO universe. Released in 2010, the game allowed users to play as their own LEGO minifigure and delve into the fight against an evil whirlpool for some reason. After signing up, your character could choose a faction and visit 9 different worlds, each one boasting special themes and exciting activities. For its notably large and detailed storyline, the game weathered a fairly short lifespan of less than 2 years, shutting down in January of 2012. There were no reports of e-fucking for this one, thank God. Littlest Pet Shop Online. Littlest Pet Shop Online, based on the toy brand from Hasbro, was a Club Penguin-style virtual world released in 2009. Instead of the bobble-headed LPS many are used to, the codes for this game were actually found on slightly scary plush toys. The game itself was free. These codes simply unlocked a 30-day free trial of a premium membership. The gameplay followed the basic virtual world blueprint, with minigames, customization, and chat options. Despite Littlest Pet Shop being such a large IP, there was almost nothing archived about this game, and all I've told you is all I can tell you. The site was killed off in 2011, but many diehard fans have petitioned for its re-release. Our World. Our World was a social sim game intended for kids and tweens. Its in-game currency, flow, was earned interestingly enough through talking, dancing, eating, and the like, rather than primarily through minigames. Our World was an early pioneer of the teen life sim, a genre that we saw in Fantage and Movie Star Planet later on, because I guess some people enjoyed high school. The game was incredibly popular, living on for an astonishing 13 years before its closure in 2021. Girl Sense. Girl Sense, launched in 2004, was an early fashion-based MMO intended for the teen girl audience. It was praised for its innovative fashion design mechanic, allowing players to run a boutique filled with their own creations and rate other users' designs. We can see the shape of the patented Girl World MMO begin to form with Girl Sense, lining the way for sites like Stardoll and BarbieGirls.com in the future. It helped introduce the concept of an online game that was stereotypically feminine and carved out a new niche for virtual world innovators. Despite Girl Sense running for over 8 years, there is a real drought of information surrounding its features. If you played Girl Sense, please feel free to share your experiences. Don't let the original Girl Boss sim die. Zwinky. Zwinky, launched in 2006, was a social sim game set in the city of Zwinktopia. You played as a Zwink. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this. Zwinky saw incredible commercial success, apparently gained through belligerent advertising on other virtual worlds. In their heyday, they boasted 30 million users. Unfortunately, the only thing I could really find when I was researching Zwinky was people simulating sex again. I'm so tired. Besides that, Zwinky seems to have little to no footprint in the mainstream virtual world space. Every Zwink died 10 years after launch in 2016 when the site met its end. Sad. Nicktropolis. Nicktropolis, developed by Nickelodeon in 2007, sees you meet friends in a world filled to the brim with Nick IPs. Chatbots posing as characters like SpongeBob and Jimmy Neutron were available to interact with, and very strict safe chat features could be used to talk to other players. In May of 2010, the site was rebranded as The Club, presumably to seem cooler to their mid-teen audience. Unfortunately, the attempt to modernize the site failed, and the club officially went offline in 2013. Many assets of the game have been deemed completely missing. McWorld. McWorld was McDonald's version of a themed virtual world, intended for a very young player base. Despite being a clear advertisement, the game had surprisingly detailed features. You could decorate a treehouse, play with your avatar called an M-Pal, and engage with whatever sponsor-themed activities McDonald's was currently running. Incredibly little is known about the game itself, with an ongoing lost media search currently seeking out assets. The gameplay footage shown here, though horrible quality, is some of the only evidence that the game existed, though many remember it fondly. God rest ye virtual chicken nuggets. Feral. Feral, created by Animal Jam developer Wildworks, was a 3D fantasy MMO launched in 2019. Its focus was heavily based on avatar customization, allowing for the player to build their character from scratch. Your Wolf RP-style character could complete quests, craft, and earn aura points, which unlocked new tiers for the player. After a large amount of controversy and NFT shilling, Feral was shut down in 2022, with its assets being reused for a crypto-based game called Cinder. It always comes back to crypto on this channel, and it pisses me off a little bit. I don't want to talk about it. Interstar U. Interstar U, or Interstar University, was developed by American Girl in 2010, paired with their My American Girl doll line. In order to gain access to the site, a code that came with a My American Girl doll was needed, making the registration fee a whopping $95 at the time. Interstar U let you enroll your doll in Interstar University, which consisted of a huge amount of smaller worlds. 16 different minigames were available across each area, letting you live life through your doll's eyes. If you weren't ready for a full commitment, or perhaps did not have $95, you could purchase Interstar University books, which came with a code providing a 14-day membership. Interstar U, along with the line of dolls it centered around, became unavailable in 2015. Bin Weevils. Bin Weevils was a British MMORPG based on the real-life bug Weevils. The game is set in a trash can using the currency mulch. Wow. Fun fact, weevils are mostly found in pantry goods and cabinets, so bin weevils should have been called flower weevils. If you even care, you know. If you don't, that's fine. I'll stop talking. The game had an absolutely massive merch release, propelled by its success in the UK. Although the game made a big mark on pop culture and played a large part in the childhoods of many, its end was fairly lackluster. The site was quietly taken offline in 2020 after the death of Flash. Millsberry. Millsberry, a marketing game created by the company General Mills, was launched in 2004. Players could visit the arcade, go shopping, and read the Millsberry Gazette, a virtual newspaper with weekly updates. I have met a lot of people who have very fond memories of this site, but none of them really know what they did there, and frankly I don't have that many ideas. It was a serial website. In 2010, Millsberry was taken offline, and players could create a yearbook featuring their in-game achievements, which is an incredibly cute closure perk. MapleStory 2. MapleStory 2 was a sequel to the longtime MMORPG MapleStory. The game differed massively from the pixelated side-scroller original version in visual design, having a Minecraft-like 3D environment to explore. Most other features, such as NPCs and mechanics, did return from the original game. Due to the lack of changes from its predecessor, MapleStory 2 fell into the shadows. It was live from 2015 to 2020, outlived by the first MapleStory. MapleStory 2 was actually well preserved, and concept art was downloadable for a time. Super Secret. Super Secret was a tween-aimed virtual world released in 2009. It allowed users to age up in place of leveling. You started out as a 10-year-old and matured as you earned age points or experience. Super Secret licensed random flash games to serve as minigames, a move that isn't often seen in virtual worlds. After being purchased by Jumpstart, Super Secret was remodeled into a near-carbon copy of another IP, World of Jumpstart. Izzy's has an incredible video that dives into the ups and downs of Super Secret if you'd like to learn more. This could have been a really interesting concept, but Super Secret never really got itself off the floor and kind of faded into obscurity. Club BK. Club BK was yet another fast food virtual world mimicking the success of McWorld. Launched in 2011, the game featured rudimentary mechanics and mini-games which tied into other Burger King promotional material. Codes to unlock special items and experiences in the game could be found on Burger King cups and wrappers and toys. I could only find 2 videos of this game. For such large companies, the archives are fucking criminal. Cut a little video essay guy some slack here, my god. I have no idea when this website shut down. I didn't even know it existed. You really do learn something new every day on youtube.com. Sometimes you don't want to. Virtual Magic Kingdom. You've probably heard of Toontown, but have you heard of Virtual Magic Kingdom? Also known as VMK, this game was produced by Disney in 2005. Players could visit distinct Disneylands, each one somehow only being able to hold 15 people at a time. Minigames themed around Disney's IPs could be found throughout the lands, and you could decorate your in-game home with Disney park memorabilia. Advertisement for this game was slim, but we do know that it featured Pirates of the Caribbean and a couple princesses. The game closed its Disney doors in 2008 during Club Penguin's majestic reign. I wonder why. Smeet. Smeet, which I fucking hate the name of, was a browser-based MMO which focused on garnering fame and social status. With its release date set in 2007, Smeet came 2 years before its more popular twin, the similarly fame-themed Movie Star Planet. The game allowed users to post content from sites like YouTube for other players to watch, as well as the normal MMO shit. Smeet was incredibly popular in Germany, where it was originally developed, and it partnered with many German brands. It was translated into 12 different languages before its departure only a few months ago in January 2024. Rest in hell, Smeet. My Coke. My Coke, created by Coca-Cola in 2002, was one of the first Weird Brand worlds to be launched. This game, surprisingly enough, was music-based. Your objectives were to socialize, mix music, decorate rooms, perform for other players, and drink Coke. My Coke also became the vehicle for many sponsorships, supporting IPs such as American Idol, the movie Shark Tale, and FIFA. After a glorious 8-year reign, My Coke shut down in 2010. 2029 Online. 2029 Online was a skill-based combat MMO that centered on fighting for survival in an alien land. Known for its in-depth questing mechanics and great character customization, 2029 Online was a quiet gem for RPG fans. I was genuinely really surprised I hadn't heard of this game until I researched for the Iceberg. It looks really cool. You could choose to play as one of 3 races: human, dryad, or electric elf. The game was released in early 2010 in the middle of the virtual world explosion, but oddly enough, there was no available date for its closure. Wizardry Online. Back the fuck up, Wizard 101. Wizardry Online is like way cooler. Developed by Sony and based on the acclaimed Wizardry games, the D&D style crawler translated the series into MMO form. The game was originally intended for the Japanese market, but was soon made available in other regions across the world. Unlike many other MMOs, your character could permanently die in Wizardry Online, which gave the game a fun, realistic edge. While it stood out amongst other RPGs, it had a pretty Victorian-era lifespan in the US of a little over 1 year, opening in 2013 and closing in 2014. Pirates of the Caribbean Online. One thing about Disney is that they're never done, huh? Pirates of the Caribbean Online, released in 2007, was a virtual world themed around the film franchise. Shocker. I really wanted to rag on this one, but it was actually pretty neat. Your character could launch a ship and sail around the world, loot both land and sea, and engage in PvP. Main story quests provided game lore, as well as the chance to engage with iconic pirates such as Jack Sparrow and Elizabeth Swann. The game was killed off in 2013, but a recreation is currently operating. Go show them some love, they'll be linked down in the description. Worlds.com. Okay, so Worlds.com is technically still running, but I'm giving myself a free spot here because I still think it's neat. Released in 1995, Worlds.com is a 3D chat program known as a pioneer of its genre. The gameplay is incredibly simple. You can visit rooms and talk to others through an avatar. This isn't all Worlds.com is known for, though. Campfire stories of a bizarre, long-time user named Nexialist and his unsavory behavior have been spread around. These rumors are well explored in Nexpo's video Cult in a Dead MMO if you'd like to learn more. Many have reported ooky spooky satanic behavior and weird conversations with users, but others have strongly refuted the idea. I guess we'll never know. Dragon Ball Online. Dragon Ball Online, based on, you guessed it, the Dragon Ball franchise, was officially launched in 2010 after a 3-year development delay. Each player was tasked with traveling through different time periods in an attempt to alter the past and fix the future, taking part in events throughout Dragon Ball lore. Users could search for Dragon Balls, speak with NPCs, gain experience and level up, and explore. It was heavily beloved by its original players, and though it was shut down in 2013, the community lives on through a rewritten server. Kung Fu Panda World. Kung Fu Panda World, which was somehow very highly rated, was developed by DreamWorks in 2010. Players could choose between watching ads or paying for a subscription to gain access to the site, where they could pick a fighting class, earn colored sashes, and become a kung fu master. I know I've said a million times that there is very limited information on these websites, but Kung Fu Panda World, I'm convinced it doesn't exist. There's proof of its existence, but that's not really swaying me. I have so many questions. Did Jack Black voice act it? Like, what happened here? I have no idea what to make of this. Why was I put on Earth to know this information? Does anything I do have a purpose? Tamatown. Tamatown was an interactive virtual world created to connect with the Tamagotchi virtual pet. Players could use their physical Tamagotchi device in tandem with the site to act as an extension of the toy, providing access to cute locations, activities, and games. Various items could be found throughout the world. Once the user logged off, they would be given passwords to load their items into their real-life Tamagotchi. The game shut down in 2013, and Tamagotchi fans purchased the Tamatown domain to use as a fan site, which is so neat. The music has also been archived by dedicated community members. Trickster Online. Trickster Online was an anime-inspired MMORPG released in 2003. The game was incredibly intricate, featuring a Greek mythology-heavy storyline which was split into 6 episodes. Each episode furthered the combat-heavy treasure hunt plot set on a fantastical, lush island. I'm genuinely mad this shit has been discontinued. There was even a card battle system, but luckily for me, and probably you, I hope your interest was piqued, a private server version currently exists. The official servers, however, were shut down in 2013. Beanie Babies 2.0. Beanie Babies 2.0, released alongside a plush line of the same name, was developed by TY in 2008. The concept mirrored Webkinz almost perfectly, with the code being attached to each Beanie Babies 2.0 plush, which could be redeemed online. It was literally Webkinz, but full of beans. I'm so serious. The site was officially shut down in 2013, with plush production stopping a few years prior. There.com. There.com, launched in 2003, was an aptly named virtual world designed for more casual socialization. It was created as a fully customizable experience where users could submit their own item creations, take classes on graphic design, and build in-depth houses for others to visit. Oddly enough, after its closure in 2010, There.com reopened for legacy players which still had their account information. However, the site looks completely untouched from what I could see. I wasn't able to find any recent discussion about the community, which makes me wonder what's happening in there. If you somehow still have a There.com account, let me know. I'm nosy, I'm curious. Doctor Who Worlds in Time. Worlds in Time, first released in 2011, saw you solve puzzles and complete quests given by the Doctor himself. Your player could pick locks, control the TARDIS, hack terminals, and chat with other users. In 2013, only 1 year before its eventual closure, the game was updated with a class system allowing you to choose proficiencies in certain skills. Unfortunately, the addition of more mechanics was not the savior of Worlds in Time, and it was shut down in 2014. This game currently has a page on the Lost Media Wiki, and people are looking for more info on it. There is almost nothing. I'm so serious, where is Super Hulock when you need it? Big Bible Town. Big Bible Town, based on the games Bible Champions and Gospel Champions, was a biblical MMO set in the 1st century. You were tasked with building your own church-centric town, going on Bible adventures, and earning tokens through learning about Christ. Footage of this game can be found through the official Big Bible Town YouTube account, but information is incredibly slim. The developer, Third Day Games, seems to no longer exist. Moki Town. Moki Town was a Dutch road safety themed MMO launched at some point in the 2000s. Yes, you heard me correctly, Dutch road safety. This game seems to only pop up on the internet when people are desperately searching for its name, and me and a few of my friends actually ended up searching for it in the same vein. I have no information about this game other than that, but here's a review. I thought this was a good game at first, but then people keep talking about sex and doing drugs and keep trying to make other people do it. My parents thought it would be a fun site until this happened, so I'm telling you, not a good game. There were lots of this I'm killing you stuff. Yeah, not a good game for kids. I think they should make another one, but ages 8 to 13, that would be a good idea, and when they say bad thing, they get abandoned, just like Secret Builders. Now that's a safe and good game. Google Lively. Before Google Plus failed, Google Lively failed. The program, which was only accessible through Windows computers, could be embedded into websites to create a virtual chat room. It was intended to provide a discussion center for websites without actually having to leave the page and foster communities for fans of certain topics. I think Google Lively was actually a really cool idea, just not executed in a way that we would see it now. The integration aspect is neat, but apparently it didn't really hit for the general public. The game lasted less than 6 months, being shut down on December 31st, 2008. Family Guy Online. I don't know if I can do it, dude. There's no amount of money you could pay me that would make saying the words Family Guy Online worth it. Anyway, Family Guy Online was a virtual world based on the Fox animated show Family Guy. You could choose to play as any of the main characters, which coordinated with different classes. Stewie was a ranger, Peter was a tank, Lois was a healer. I'm gonna drop dead. The game existed from 2012 to 2013 and was reported to have shut down because the majority of players could not get past the first level. I can't do this anymore. The Matrix Online. The Matrix Online, based on the Matrix movie series, was released in 2005 to critical indifference. The player is given the role of a Red Pill, a former Matrix dweller that has since been freed. You could play as one of 3 classes: coder, hacker, or operative. Your choice would provide you with a select combat style that would be used throughout the game. It was defined as a continuation of the canon Matrix story, interestingly enough. The storyline progressed in real time, with events occurring across 6-week intervals. In 2009, the servers said their goodbyes, with fewer than 500 active players being reported at the time. Last but not least, The Mummy Online. There was a virtual world based on the 1999 film The Mummy starring Brendan Fraser. IGN described it as an action RPG MMO with adventure elements, and God only knows what that means. I literally couldn't tell you. All I know is that there was in fact an MMO based on the 1999 film The Mummy starring Brendan Fraser, and I never got to play it. Alright, we have reached the bottom of the iceberg. Thank you all for sticking around. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content like this in the future, let me know. I just wanted to try it out. You know, you don't have to like it, but if you do, that's great. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Thank you so much to all of my members for supporting me, and I love you. Stay safe, stay wonderful, and goodbye.